Welcome to the show, another podcast brought to you by MrVeesworld. Please subscribe to my channel and leave a comment. Today's topic is how to tell when a woman likes you or if a woman likes you. Now, for guys, men, it's not easy to tell for us because it takes around 7 or 8 signals for us to catch the vibe of what a woman is putting out there. I'm talking about flirtatious signs, and we are really sucky at it. If a woman likes you guys, if you're on a date, or if you're in a club, or if you're at work or something to this effect, and if a woman is talking to you and looking at you square in your face as you speak, literally hanging on every word you're saying, what they're doing is they are scanning you. They're literally scanning your face. Okay, so it will pay attention. It will help you to pay attention to what they're doing when you're talking. I'll get to a story in a minute that will illustrate what I'm talking about in depthly, but they're scanning you over. Okay, women do this because they're thinking stuff. They're thinking things. They're not just intrigued. They're not just listening to be polite. They're actually having other things go in their mind, like, hey, he's cute, or wow, I never noticed his lips are so luscious, etc., etc. So pay attention to the scanning business, okay? Secondly, when a woman plays with her hair or flicks her hair from one side to the next, she is trying to let you know that she is vivacious and she is sensual, and she wants you to pay attention to her face, okay? In other words, she wants your eyes on her face. She'll do this multiple times in the same conversation. So let's say if you see it happen once, start counting how frequently she does this over and over again, and she'll do it subconsciously. And also, to add on to the hair flick, it's also the hair touching. She's pruning herself, taking her hand to her forehead, just above her ear, and pushing her hair back to one side or over. Now, this is a definite flirtatious sign. This is a sign of interest. She wants you to see her at her best, and she's making sure that she's pruning herself just like you would on a tree to get it looking right, okay, or a rose bush, to make sure that she's showing you her best sides, okay? That's just how it goes for them. And thirdly, the eye pop. Okay, you're wondering what that is. The eye pop is when a woman is smiling at you, she's engaged with you, she's interacting with you and talking to you. And let's say you're discussing something and now it's her turn to jump in. When she jumps in, I guarantee you, she's going to be using her hands a lot, over-exaggerating her moves. She's going to flick her hair to the left or to the right. She's going to show you her neckline, and she's going to look at you square in your face and say something with a big smile, and her eyes will actually get bigger and pop, okay? And her pupils will dilate. And this is a really hard thing to catch if you are not watching for it. Other women standing around will see that from a mile away and know what that girl is up to. She likes that guy a lot, okay? And also, when she wants to keep your attention after you see the eye pop, after you see the touching of the hair several times in the hair flick, she's going to get super animated to keep you interested and keep you standing there. She doesn't want you scanning the room looking at other women, other potential suitors. They don't like competition. Ladies don't like competition. They want to be the one and the only. This is why they dress the way they do. Put their breasts up. Put on the lipstick, etc., because they know that there is a time limit to their attractiveness. Okay, we all know 18 to 24 is the sweet spot. 24 is probably the sweet spot for most women in shape. They're at their prime. Once they hit 30, it starts to go south of that. Not all women look bad at 30. I'm not saying this, suggesting. I'm just saying as far as a guy is concerned, our DNA stipulates that we want young and fertile, and 30 is not exactly saying all of that above and then some. It's saying, wow, the clock has really started to tick for that person, and I'm not ready to commit to that, but I digress. Now, the reason I wanted to make this podcast for you and talk to you a little bit about this, I went to a club last night where I normally perform music, and I was there with my girlfriend, and we met a woman by the name of Beth. And Beth is pretty much an average looking woman, a girl, not overly attractive, not underly attractive, just a 6. Let's just give her a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10. Long story short, we thought that she didn't have really the best social graces. She was nice, but she didn't have really, incredible social graces. And she started talking to a guy that she knew a little bit, because they all arrived together. Her, a guy, and then another woman. When she was speaking to him, she got overly animated, and Beth is not an overly animated person by nature. As we said, she's not overly gracious with her people skills. She's kind of dull, kind of lame, a little bit lame. But when this guy, who was tall, he was kind of whatever, she wanted his attention, so she got over animated, looked him square in the face, was pruning her hair, and I counted it 8 times in 1.5 minutes. Okay, 8 times she pruned her hair, she flicked her head twice, and then took her long hair and just put it in a ponytail with her left hand and slapped it over to her left side of her shoulder, leaving the right side of her shoulder with her neck being bare, like open space on the neck, like I said. And we were just watching this, and it was like a blow by blow, like watching sports or something. And I was just giving, like, every move she made, I just made a statement. And my girlfriend, who's 22 years young, she called it, said, yeah, you're right. Oh, she really likes him, And this is, I'm making the breakdown from a male's perspective. And if I can see it, because I have some experience with this, working in the public and working with people, I'm an excellent body reader, and that's what I'm trained to do as a salesperson as well, and as a marketing person, as an event planner. And a handshaker. You just know how to read people. That's a part of your job. And I used to wait tables, and anyone who's waited tables, that's a crash course in dealing with the general public. So watching Beth last night prompted me to deliver this podcast to you. And what eventually happened was the guy was looking at her, talking and being nice and everything, and he smiled and whatnot, but he was with another girl, and she was far more attractive. But for some reason, this guy could not really turn his head from Beth. Even though he had a date, he was kind of standing to the side, dancing a little bit on her own. And I don't think he computed in his head why he found this situation intriguing. He didn't understand why, because it was all subconscious messages he was receiving, but he was reacting to them too, unknowingly so. Okay? So guys, the secret weapon is what women don't want you to know. They send signals and they act a certain way, and they're making you to do things, or respond rather, and they're getting it on their terms. But the problem is you're so not tuned into that frequency, and you must train yourself. Learn how to do it. Watch, quote unquote, how people interact in a bar, in a nightclub. Just watch what happens. Watch what the women do when they see a guy that presumably they like. Just watch it for 5 minutes and count how many times you see the over animated hands during the middle of the discussion, the smile when it, okay, she's smiling while he's talking, and look at his face. Is he smiling? Probably not. He's just telling a story, but she's smiling anyway. Or laughing at something that's really ridiculous, that's not even funny. The guy might say something like blank, 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 and she's laughing, ha, 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 but it's not funny. It's her way of saying, I'm engaged with you, I like you. Anything you do, anything you say, I'm completely entertained, and I'm into you. So, gentlemen, do this little test for yourself. You'll become a better observer, and you'll get better luck with women, of course, if you know their little game. Tune into that frequency. Leave me some comments. Break it on down. Please let me know what you think about all of this, and subscribe to the channel. Thumb me up if you like the video. I'll make more podcasts. Take care of yourself.